Hey everyone, it's David with Android Police, and we're here at MWC in Barcelona. And as you can see, this video is taking a quick look at the G6 and how it really improved on the failures of last year's LG flagship, the G5. This video is brought to you by dbrand, who are sponsoring our MWC coverage. You should go check them out if you want a cool skin for your smartphone. There's a link down in the description below. So the LG G5 was one of the most divisive smartphones of 2016, and probably one of the strangest too. Many reviews and commenters took issue with LG's focus on a modular design that seemed to come at the expense of desirable features like waterproofing or a larger battery, and it left the G5 hamstrung, in my opinion, against phones like Samsung's Galaxy S7. With the G6 though, LG has turned a corner, and they've addressed many of those criticisms head on. So let's take a look at just how LG managed to turn the G6 into the phone I think the G5 probably should have been. First, there's no doubt the G5's build quality was compromised by the modular design of the phone. There's a big seam running across the back of it where the modular chin popped out, and that was just really the start of the issues. LG's painted metal body was easy to scratch up, and it just felt kind of weird, like plastic. Not like the premium phone it should have been. It didn't help that none of the modules were all that good either, and there were just a handful of them ever released. The G6 completely departs from the LG G5's failings in this regard, with an all-metal and glass build that gives the phone a truly premium look and feel. While the glass back does look a bit plasticky at some angles, it still feels nice, and it makes the phone seem extremely solid and rigid. The overall design just feels more refined and cohesive than the slightly confused G5. And you're really going to feel like you're using a premium smartphone when you pick the G6 up. It is nice. The second big thing, a lot of people felt LG really dropped the ball by releasing a phone without waterproofing last year. And while we're at it, I'm looking at you too, HTC and Google. But the G6 totally remedies this. It features the same IP68 dust and water resistance rating as the Galaxy S7 series, meaning you can actually drop the phone in a pool of water and it should survive unscathed. This is getting to be something we just expect on high-end smartphones, but it's good to see LG took the criticism of the G5 in this regard to heart. You may never drop your phone in water, but it's good to know it can take a dunking if it has to, right? Next up, battery and charging. So the G5's battery was definitely too small for the phone, and the amount of time you could get from a charge on that device really suffered as a result. The G5 probably had the worst battery life of any of the major flagships in 2016, and once again, people were quick to blame LG's modular design, with a lot of people saying it forced LG to use a smaller battery to make the module system work in the phone. The G6 though has a much larger 3300 mAh battery versus the measly 2800 mAh one from the G5. That's an increase of almost 20%, which is a lot. The G6 does have a larger display to power, of course, but this boost in overall capacity was really badly needed anyway, and LG did what they should have here, making the phone slightly thicker than last year's, but using that space to fit a larger battery cell. Sure, it's not removable, but if you're going to have waterproofing, that's really not an issue anymore anyway. It has to be. On the charging side of things, LG's added wireless charging support for the G6, but it's only coming to America, which is weird, but that's what LG says people want in America and apparently not in the rest of the world. You might disagree if you're from somewhere else but the United States and want a G6, but that's how LG sees things. Still, if you are in America, the G6 supports wireless charging, and that's just another additional feature that's really going to make the G6 a little more convenient, especially if you get it wet. LG was pointing out to us that if you get the G6 wet, well, even if you can't use the USB-C port to charge until it dries, you could use a wireless charging pad, which I guess is a good point if your phone's getting wet that often. Finally, the new display with its small bezels. LG's all-new full vision 5.7-inch Quad HD LCD is really what makes the G6 pop. Its 18:9 aspect ratio is unique in smartphones for now, but Samsung is rumored to be doing something similar with the new S8. But the result is a screen that manages to get bigger without getting any wider. In fact, coupled with the G6 tiny bezels on the top and bottom of the display, did you know this phone is actually narrower and shorter than the G5? While having a display diagonal that's 4/10 of an inch larger? That's actually pretty awesome. I definitely dig this new wide format display, and while the rounded corners are a bit odd, they definitely don't ruin what overall are very positive changes in the screen to body ratio department, harkening back to phones like the G2 and G3 when LG was still on the cutting edge of big screens and small phone bodies. So, what do you think? Did LG really nail the issues with the G5 when it built the G6? Could they have done more? Less? Let us know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in hearing more about LG's latest smartphone.